Hey guys, Drifter here. Welcome to Advanced Warfare in Depth. In today's episode, we're going to be reviewing the AMR9 Pro Pipe Elite Weapon variant. This is kind of a weapon redemption episode because when I originally reviewed the AMR9, I didn't have a lot of good things to say about this SMG. However, the Pro Pipe variant is actually an excellent weapon and kind of almost redeems the entire existence of the AMR9. The gameplay that you're seeing is me using it here on the map Biolab, which is a great map for this kind of weapon, using both the regular weapon and the grenade launcher attachment on the submachine gun, which we'll talk about later. Do keep your eyes open for the Fury kill that I get though, which is 5 all down the feed. That was pretty cool. That happens at about 5 minutes in. But let's talk about the AMR9 damage. The normal AMR9 will deal 33 damage up close, decrease to 19 at medium range, and then decrease to 16 at long ranges. The Pro Pipe variant completely changes those numbers to 33, 33, and 20, meaning that it deals the same damage at medium range as it does up close, and deals 20 damage instead of 16 at a distance. This is obviously going to change our shots to kill, so let's go ahead and move over to that tile. The normal AMR9 will require 4 to 7 shots to kill, meaning that it's a 5-round burst SMG, so you can put all 5 rounds of your burst into somebody and still not kill them, which can be very frustrating. However, the Pro Pipe variant only requires 4 to 5 shots to kill, meaning that at any range, as long as you hit your entire burst, you're guaranteed to kill them, which is a much better and much more effective type of submachine gun. It's a pretty massive boost to damage and time to kill, and it's actually one of the biggest damage boosts in the entire game. You also get a change to range because we changed the medium range damage. The normal AMR9 can 4-shot people at about 8 meters, which is, we'll say, about half of shotgun range. It's not really that far, not very effective. The damage fall off is pretty hard. However, the Pro Pipe variant can 4-shot people all the way up to 26 meters, which is about half of the effective range of most of the assault rifles in this game, meaning that you can kill in less than 1 burst at, medium range for assault rifles with the Pro Pipe variant, which is just, it's awesome. Let's be real here. That is a huge buff to range, a huge buff to damage, a huge buff to time to kill, and it's going to make this weapon feel and handle so much better than the base variant, and honestly better than some of the other submachine guns. It truly is an excellent elite weapon. That's not all the good things you get though. You also get a free grenade launcher attachment. The AMR9 is the only SMG that allows undermount attachments, which in this case is obviously going to be the grenade launcher, and the Pro Pipe variant, which is a joke on the noob tube. We call them noob tubers. They say, nah man, I got Pro Pipes. This one is the Pro Pipe. It gets that one for free. It's one of those integrated attachments, so you don't have to spend your creative class slots on it, your pick 13 on it. So that's pretty good because you're probably going to run it with the grenade launcher anyway, and if I'm going to run the AMR9 instead of the ASM1, I'm probably going to be doing it with a grenade launcher. My best advice would not be to just spam the grenades. Advanced Warfare really isn't a game for noob tubing. That's a terrible tactic to recommend to people anyway, but if you want to actually use them tactically to knock out campers, snipers, clear out objectives, that's fine, but just running around with the tube out as your primary is pretty much only going to guarantee you 1 kill, and then you're going to get shot while you're reloading your tube. While there's a lot of good things about this variant, there is one major downside, and that's that it has a rate of fire nerf or decrease. It will burst, a normal AM9 anyway, will burst at 900 RPM. That's the speed of the 5 rounds coming out of the end of your submachine gun, and it has a burst delay of 0.1 seconds. For whatever reason, this is coded to fire at 705 RPM, but it's firing in practice way faster at 900. Almost always your rate of fires are rounded down, and that's why I'm going back to manual testing for these variant weapons. For whatever reason, both the standard AMR9 and the variants are firing faster than they are coded to. I don't know exactly why, but I decided to include that, but the scaling is almost identical. Anyway, it shoots at 900 RPM. It's supposed to shoot at about 700. However, the AMR9 Pro Pipe shoots at 600 RPM, though it's coded to shoot at 571. That's much closer right there, but still it's very unusual that it rounds up. But that's a pretty huge nerf to rate of fire. That's about 1/3 of your rate of fire completely gone, so it's going to shoot significantly slower than how you would expect it to shoot, and that means that your burst isn't going to be a super fast burst. It's going to be kind of a slow one, so you're going to have to track your targets through the burst, and that does definitely decrease the accuracy, and this will also decrease the time to kill. kill. I do feel that the time to kill is still massively improved by that damage buff, but I just thought that you should know how this works. However, if you put rapid fire on the Pro Pipe, it goes up to 720 RPM, which is the same rate of fire as most of the SMGs, as the AK-12, as the BAL, and a lot of these other kind of guns. So with rapid fire, it's really not an issue, and you pretty much fix the only nerf to this weapon, and that's one of the things that I'm going to be recommending later on when it comes to what attachments and whatever to use. The AMR9 Pro Pipe also has no penalties to recoil, no penalties to hipfire, and no attachment restrictions, which is really good because a lot of the stronger weapon variants, they'll have like more kick, wider hipfire, can't use optical attachments, some kind of annoying things like that, but this one has none. There's no recoil, hipfire, or attachment penalties, which makes it very, we'll say, moddable with the rest of the attachments. And I feel that this makes the AMR9 a very competitive SMG. The base AMR9 is not a good weapon. Can we just be honest here? Like, how many times do you see in competitive play somebody breaking out an AMR9? How many times do you think to yourself, man, if only I had an AMR9 in this situation, I definitely would have won that gunfight? Well, never, because it's not really a great weapon. However, the AMR9 Pro Pipe, it feels like a really good weapon, and it feels like a truly awesome version of the AMR9, and if you have it, I would recommend you using it. As for what is best on this weapon, I highly recommend going the 3 attachment route. You'll need primary gunfighter with rapid fire and red dot sight. Rapid fire fixes the rate of fire nerf almost completely, makes it shoot normally, and the red dot sight is because I really don't like the irons on this weapon. I find them difficult to aim with, and this is a precision weapon, so you really need something nice like the red dot sight to guarantee that all of your shots are on target. Perks, you're going to need danger close and fast hands, because you're using a noob tube, you might as well use it with danger close so that it is maximally effective, and fast hands so that you can swap to the tube and put it away as fast as possible so you don't get killed while you're swapping. I think I forgot fast hands in this video because I am le dumb. Well guys, that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and you learned something useful. If you did, don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe. The previous video is on the HBR A3 Insanity, and the next one's going to be on the EM1 Poner. Drifter out.